Alrighty guys, here it is, the long-awaited tutorial, the Mitsubishi G4M1, also known as the Betty Bomber. So this is a pretty famous Japanese World War II plane for a couple of reasons. One, because it was the same plane that transported Admiral Yamamoto to visit a Japanese airfield, and he would have made it there until the Americans intercepted the message. So they sent a group of P-38 Lightnings to intercept the two Mitsubishis, and there was two of them. One of them was carrying Yamamoto, the other one was just kind of like a decoy. Kind of like Air Force One, how they have like two of them. So the P-38 shot the first one down, the other one not with Yamamoto aboard. That one crashed into the sea, and then the other one was also shot down, which was carrying Yamamoto, and his plane crashed into a jungle. And I've also seen a video on YouTube where this guy actually visits the wreck of Yamamoto's plane. It's actually still here. So that's pretty cool. And another thing this plane was well known for, if I come over here, and this is something I've actually done before, it can carry this thing. This is the Yokosuka Ohka. Now this was a kamikaze kind of jet bomb. Now, I have to be careful what I say, because in this tutorial I said I think it was something, but other people have corrected me of what it was. I'm going to call it a jet bomb. So, if that's the right definition for it. But anyways, here it is on the aircraft. You probably saw this on the promo video if you watched it. And actually it'll be at the very beginning of this tutorial anyway, so. But yeah, so this thing was basically a kind of a kamikaze thing that was developed by Japan, that was supposed to basically be a more effective way of doing kamikaze attacks on American ships. So, and it was being carried by the G4M1, because this was probably one of the only planes that was large enough to carry it. So, yeah, so that's a little bit of about the history of the G4M1. And it's a very interesting plane. There's a lot more I can cover in the history of this aircraft, except this is a tutorial. This is not like a history about the plane. But I'm sure you can find a lot of information on the internet and from other videos. So, but anyways, let's talk about the build. So this is, instead of doing a layer by layer tutorial, this will actually more be a section by section tutorial. Now, when I do build more bombers in the future from World War II, there is a certain way that I build them, and it makes them a lot easier to do and a lot more efficient. Because layer by layer does work, but it only works more with like airliners or like other types of planes. But this one is going to be a section by section. So what we're going to start off with is that we're actually going to start by building a tube, and then we're going to build it off each side. Now, I don't actually know where I'm going to start the tube, but that I will figure out, and then I'll tell you guys where it is, and then I'll tell you how much blocks you're going to go back and how much blocks you're going to go forward. So you can kind of see that I've really broken it down. So we got the tube here. This is the first thing we're going to build, the main fuselage. And then the next thing we're going to attach is these two glass pieces, the one at the front and the one at the back here, and with the machine guns in it. And then we are going to do the cockpit right here. And then the very last piece is the tail. And then the whole fuselage will be basically completed. And then we will just do the wings. And the wings are really easy on this plane to do. So if you want to build the Mitsubishi G4M, and we will be going over dimensions in a minute. I keep forgetting in these tutorials to write down the dimensions. So I will write them down on a sign after I explain the materials, and then we will get started on the build. But anyways, the materials you'll be needing is, you'll be needing quite a bit actually. There's black wool, nether brick stairs, cobblestone wall, white wool, quartz slab, green wool, spruce slab, glass, brown wool, block of iron, button, yellow wool, red wool, stone slab, dark oak fence, and dark oak fence gate, and nether brick fence. So, let's go over dimensions, and then we will begin this tutorial. Okay, so here are the dimensions of the plane. So it is a 2-to-1 scale, like all my builds are. It is 42 blocks long. Now that is actually from this glass piece here, all the way to this glass piece here. The machine guns are not counted because they are an added bit to the plane, because they can also be removed and stored inside of it as well. So that's basically the total length of the plane, but it's not counting the machine guns. It's just the length of the fuselage with the two glass pieces on it. The glass kind of bubbles on it. I don't think they're called bubbles on this one, but that's kind of what they look like. So anyways, it is 58 meters wide, and that's the total width of the plane. That's from the wingtip to wingtip, and it also includes the fuselage width as well. And it is 14 blocks high, and that's from the ground to the top of the tail. Now in real life, this aircraft would have been tail dragger, which basically means that the plane would have been slanted. This back wheel would have been touching the ground, and yeah, the plane would have probably been a little, yeah, it would have looked a lot more angled. But because we're in Minecraft and building it in a step pattern, it would literally look like it would literally look like this if we were to build it in a tail dragging situation. And as you can see, that would not look very good with the plane. So that's why I built it just out of, just straight. So it's like in a takeoff position, like it's ready to lift off, or if it's getting maintained, like doing maintenance done when, you know, a jack is holding it up or whatever. So, but that's kind of the only way I can really build this thing. So anyways, let's get over here and we will begin this tutorial. Okay, so one quick thing that I want to mention before we get started is the Ohka will actually not be included in this build tutorial because I already have a tutorial on the Yokosuka Ohka. I will be linking a the video of it in the description below, and there should also be a little card on the top of the screen for that tutorial. So this will just be a tutorial for the G4M1. However, I will be showing you at the very end of how to of where to connect your Ohka when you do build it to the actual plane. And I do got to fix a few connections here because they're actually not attached, so I will have to do that, but we could do that after. So I just wanted to mention that just in case if you guys think that you're getting both of these planes. You're not, you're just getting the G4M1, and I will be linking the Ohka tutorial in the description, so you'll be able to check that out as well. So anyways, let's get started on the tutorial. Okay, one more thing before we begin. I promise this is the last thing I'm going to mention before we actually get started on the tutorial. So this is actually very important. This is actually where I'm going to begin with the build of how we're going to build this, because I remember earlier how I said we're going to be kind of building a tube shape. Well, I'm going to show you exactly where the starting point of where I am going to start, and then I'm basically just going to build off the front and then build off the back. So this is like the easiest way that I can do it. So where I put this white block here, which is basically right where the kind of the ending to where the cockpit section is, that's where I'm going to start it. So we're going to be building this entire kind of, it's kind of a rectangular shape. It'll look like a rectangle when it's all done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build the front part of the tube. So basically if I come over here, so my block would be right there, and then I'm going to build basically this part of the plane, and we're going to build the entire tube. Then we're going to do these cutouts here, and then that cutout, and then we're going to build the very back of the plane, and we'll also do these cutouts and put the glass in as well. And we'll do these cutouts too for the machine guns on the side. So this will just kind of lay everything down, and then we'll be able to really get everything else on the plane. So that's just the best way that I can think of how to put this airplane together. So without further ado, let's actually begin this tutorial now. Okay, so to get started, what you're going to do first is you're actually going to grab your glass. So we're just going to build the height from the ground all the way up to where the bottom of the fuselage is. That is probably the most important thing, because when you put the landing gear on, you want to make sure that it touches the ground. However, if you are building it up in the air, then you're just going to have to put as many blocks up as where you want your height to be. But anyways, you're going to put your glass block down, and you're going to go 1, and then 2, 3, and then on the fourth one, you're going to have your first block here. You are just going to delete that, and then you're going to go 1, 2 on one side, and then 1, 2 on the other side, so it should be 5 in total. Then with your green wool, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're just going to connect it across like that. So there is the starting point to your G4M1. And remember where I started off, right where the gun is, and I don't actually think it's even with the plane, but that's okay because I'm just gonna count the direction going front and then the direction going aft of the plane. So, but this is what you should have. It's really, really easy, and like I said before, if you want to build this high in the air, you just drag your glass blocks to the height you want it, and then just make sure to put that white wool block and then just make this pattern. So now we'll get on to building the front section of the plane. Okay, so for the first part, what you're going to do is you're going to come right into the middle of this, and you're going to place one block here, actually not counting this block, you're going to have 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then you're going to have a slab right here. And then you're going to have another slab in here, so you're going back by 1. Actually, you're going to have a slab right here, and then this is going to be 12. So you're just going to drag this all the way back. I don't need to count it because you know this is 13, you just minus 1. And then you're going to place another slab here, and then this should be an 11. And if you really want me to count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you got your 12, and then your 13. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. You're going to place a slab here, and then you're going to just drag this all the way back. And then you're just going to drag this all the way back and all the way forward until you hit one block short, and you're going to have a slab right here. So now what we're going to do is, I kind of changed my mind of how we're going to do this. I'm going to lay down the entire base of the plane first, and then we're going to just build up the fuselage, because there is some bits at the front that do kind of raise up a little bit, and that's going to I'm going to have to explain how to do that. So we're just going to build the back of the base, like basically where the white part is, and then we'll just build up from there. So it still will be like a big tube when it's all done, but I'm just kind of building it differently than how I expected it just before. So anyways, let's get on to the back part. Okay, so for the back section of the plane, you're going to come right to the middle again, and you're going to have 17 blocks. So remember, not counting this one, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and they're going to put 1 here. This is actually going to be a 3 in total, so you could just drag this all the way down. But this one right here on this layer here, and it's gonna be 3 slabs like this. You're gonna leave 1, 2, and 3, and then you're gonna have a slab on the 4th one. I just want to double check and look. No, you're actually gonna have a slab on the 3rd block right here, and then you're going to drag your blocks going all the way, attaching onto here, and then you're just gonna do the same thing with the other side. So you're going to leave 1, 2, and then on the 3rd one, you're going to place a slab here, and then with your white wool, you're just going to drag this all the way until it connects in with that. So there we go. So there's kind of the base layout to your plane. There obviously is more extensions that come out, but once we do that, then basically building the tube will be a lot easier. So we'll get on to doing that, and then we can continue on with the plane. But yeah, so that's basically what your base should look like. So let's continue. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to come right to where we got our tube, like where we're building it basically, like this part right here, and then you're just going to put 1 block here. This is going to drag all the way down until it's 1 past the slab from the last layer, and then you're just going to come out 2. You're going to put 3 across the front and 3 here like that. And then you're just going to do the same thing for the other side. Like that, and there is a slab that goes in right here. So you're going to have a spruce slab and a spruce slab like that. So now what you're going to do, just to finish up the front part, is you are going to just, I believe it all connects. Okay, this goes out by 1. So you're just going to, yeah, it's just going to connect all here. So you can literally just make your tube, at least to the very top of this. Leave the upper part open, because that's where the cockpit's going to be and all that stuff. And don't fill in the middle part here, because that's where the glass is going to go. So while you do that, I'm going to be doing the back section of the plane. So now for the back section, you're just going to go and drag this all the way down, and I believe it is a couple blocks past the slab. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just check here. Yeah, it goes one past this one. Actually, let me just go double check to make sure, because I did not look at the back when I was. Yeah, it's one past. Okay, so we got it. We got it right here. So it's one past this slab here, and then there's going to be a spruce slab on that. And then you're just going to drag this all the way down until it's one pass, and you're going to put another slab here. And then you're going to grab your white wool, and this is going to connect on here and right here. And I believe one more out. Yep, one more out. I'm just kind of eyeing it from this over here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to fill this in as well, and this connects all the way like that, like right up to the very ending of the block. Now, I actually did want to do a little bit of a change to this thing. Instead of the green here, I actually want to change this to white, because I didn't realize until I broke this down that I actually built it, like this side, the raised bit on here is white, and this side was green. So I actually want to change this to white as well, just to kind of match it. So it should just look like, it should look the same, and then you can keep the spruce slab here. You could change it for a quartz if you wanted to, but anyway, so that basically lays, oh, I'll just do the same thing for the other side here. I'll just do this, and then just basically fill this all in. Now, don't worry about all the side bits and the roundel and everything. We will be getting that in probably after we get the wings in. I'm going to do all the cutouts for the fuselage and everything. So once you finish that, we are going to get the front and rear glass pieces on, and then we'll just basically build up for the cockpit. So yeah, so do that, and then we will do the glass. Okay, so once you fill it in, this is what it should look like. So like I said before, do not fill up the top yet on either side, because I want to put the cockpit in first, and then once we get that in, then we'll be able to fill it all in and make it look really nice. So now let's put the front and back glass pieces on, and then we'll just continue from there. Okay, so for the rear glass bubble, you're going to place a block here. Now you're going to make the exact same pattern as we have on the front, so you're just going to have a 1 and then a 1. You're also going to have another 1 and then a 1 here. And then you're just going to have a 3 going across. But then you're going to have a 2. You're going to make this 2. You're going to go up by 1. And then you're going to put 1 here, 1 there, so just this becomes 2 altogether, and then you're just going to have 1 here and 1 there. And I believe there is also, yeah, there's 1 right across here. Now, if you don't want the machine gun, you could just block it like that with some glass, but if you do want the machine gun, leave the space open, and then you're just going to place your fence post here. You're going to put 2 out, and you can have your 2 fence gates. You will have to place 2 blocks underneath them, and then you're just going to place another block, fence gate, and there's your machine gun right here. And then just like we did for the front, for the little bulkheads, you're just going to place your rear ones. And I think I made it 3, and then I made it like this. But you can also move it closer. I would actually recommend probably moving it. So you have a 2 block space here. You could have just enough to put a seat in here, and enough to kind of walk around a little bit. So if you make it like a 2 here, you could place in some doors if you want. So there we go. So there's kind of the basis of the fuselage. So now we are going to put in the very top bits on it. But what you actually can do first is you can just fill this up here. Yeah, just fill this part up at least, and then for the back you could just fill this part up as well. So now we'll put in the cockpit, and then we'll put the roof on the plane, and then we'll just get the tail, like the back part, done, like the tail, the ailerons and everything. Then we'll put in the main wings, and then we'll do all the cutouts of the windows and the extra guns that you see in the roundels and all that stuff. So let's do that. Okay, so before we go any further, I do want to mention about the flooring. I realized on my finished one over here that the flooring is actually spruce slabs, and they come about this low onto the plane, so you can actually get like a nice, interior for the cockpit. But you won't be able to go underneath here. So what you actually have to do with this is the bulkhead actually gets deleted, and you're going to move it back 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the fifth one, you're going to move this back, so it should just connect in right with this right here. And then you're going to delete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you're going to delete this much of the floor here. And you can actually delete this as well, because you're going to have your quartz slab. And then you're going to have a double slab here, and then 2 slabs right here. So this is, and then you're going to have some slabs here. So this is kind of how I have mine here, because the cockpit, when it's like, once you put it in now, you can walk underneath it and still have room to get into all areas of the plane. So I just wanted to do that because I just realized that I had done that on my one. So now we will get into slabs on this layer, and we'll finish up the cockpit area, and then we'll get onto the tail and ailerons. Okay, so before we get further into the cockpit, one more thing, we gotta do the cockpit flooring. So for that, you're actually going to leave this block right here, and you're gonna place it on the second one. And then you're just going to have 3 across, and then this is going to fill up all the way to the end right here. But you are actually going to delete these 2, and you're going to have 1 here, so it should be a 2. And the reason for that is because you can actually walk around your plane, so you can actually get up here, and actually you may want to delete a 3rd one. And a 4th one, because this is actually where your ladder is going to go. Now, I'm not trying to build the interior, but I'm just kind of laying down the interior so I can get the rest of the plane right. But this is where you would put your ladder to get up into the cockpit. And it's actually moved 1 more. Yeah, it's actually moved 1 more. Because then you don't hit this part. So your ladder's going to go up to here. And then pretty much for this part, you're just going to fill this in with green all the way up to here. I do want to double check this on my actual one, but because you can go up here, I believe this is correct, but I will go check. But yeah, so do that. I'll go check it and make sure. Oh, and actually, I just want to mention why there is no slab here is because you can place crafting tables right here. So this will be your kind of instrument panel. So, but I actually like placing. I can place black wool blocks, but I'm gonna make mine look very similar to this one. So I'm just gonna put crafting tables in. So let me go double check about the how the flooring goes, and then we will continue. Okay, so for the rudder of the plane, you are going to come right to the back, you're going to skip 1, and you're going to place 1 right here. You're also going to place a spruce slab here. This is going to go, counting this block, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then right here, you're going to go up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So then you're just going to have a step pattern going up until you reach the top, and then you're just going to have a 3 blocks. So then you're going to have 1, 2, and 3. So there's your tail. It's really, really easy. And now we'll just put the tail wings in, and we'll be finished the rear part of the plane. Okay, so for the ailerons, we're going to come right to the back, and you're going to skip 3 from here. So 1, 2, and 3. On the 4th block, you're going to place 1. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to turn this into 4. So counting this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to have 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to have a 2. And then this is just going to go all the way back. And then you can just fill that in. So now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And on the 4th one, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. And then a 2 going this way. And then you're just going to connect this just like that. So this is basically a 4-3-2 pattern, but the 2 goes this way instead of out. It goes inwards. So you can just basically fill that in, and then the only thing we need to do left on the back section is the cutout for the glass, which we will be doing at the end. So now what we'll do is we'll do the main wings. So we're almost done. We're getting there. Okay, so now to lay down for the wings, or where to at least find them, you're going to come to the front of the plane, you're going to skip the glass, and you're going to go to this block, and it's going to be a 9 block gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then on the 10th one, you're going to be placing a green block here. Then counting this block, you're going to go 8, 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then right here, you're going to have a 9, so counting this block here, you're going to go 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9. And then you have another set of 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you're going to have a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 2, 1, 2, and then just a 2 going this way. And then coming back, you're going to have 10. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is going to go all the way down until it connects right in here. So there is one wing. I just want to make sure that I got it right from the other one. Yep, I think that's perfect. Now you may notice too that there is some yellow. These are the yellow bands and everything, and we got the roundel. We'll be putting all that in after we finish the engines and all that kind of stuff. So then it'll be much easier to put it down. So anyway, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. So if we come to the front of the plane, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then on the 10th one, you're gonna place one block here. And you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then from the front, you're going to have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you have another set of 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just want to recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. And then you're going to have a 2. Or is it a 3? Let me look on the other side for a second. Oh, it's a 6. It's a 6. So you have two sets of 9. And then you have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to have a 2. And then another 2 going this way. And then right here, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is going to go all the way down until it connects right into that. So there is what your 2 wings look like, or should look like. So this is what you should have. If you have any difficulties with the pattern, it is basically 9, 9, 6, 2, and then 2 going this way. And then it's 10, and then all the way connecting to the into the fuselage. So, but if you do have trouble, just rewatch the part, and I'm sure you'll be able to get it. These wings are not that hard. So fill these in, and then we'll get on into putting in the engines, and then we'll do the landing gear. Okay, so this is what you should have when you have both of your wings filled in. So it's starting to look more like what this looks like, but once we get all the other details on, it will look even better. So anyways, now we're going to put the engines together. And to find the placement for those, you're going to come right to the wing here, the beginning of the wing. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one, you're going to place 2 green blocks here, and you're going to skip 1, place 2 green blocks here. And then you're going to have 2 black blocks, just like that. So we'll do the same thing on the other side just so we can get the placement ready for the engines, and then we'll continue to build them. So if you come to the other side, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one, you're going to have 2 green wool here, and then 2 green wool here by skipping 1, and then 2 black blocks like this. So this is going to make up the cowling and everything with the black, and then you're just going to have this going over, just like that. And I believe, yeah, your block of iron comes in now with a button. You're going to have some iron right in here, and you're going to go 1 and 2. Now, we'll be putting the propellers in at the end, so I just want to build up the engine first, and then we'll put those in. So you're guys going to have a black piece of wool here, and a black like that. And then for the top, if I come over here, we have 5. So from this, you're going to place 1. Yeah, so from this black block, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're going to come to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I forgot to look at this part when I was viewing this, so I have to keep going back and forth. So then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your nether brick stairs. Oh, and I actually should mention, I don't know if I mentioned it when I was listing the materials, but you will actually be needing spruce wood stairs as well. So I don't know, I don't remember if I mentioned that, but you will be needing those. So you're just going to place two stairs on over the black. This is going to make your cowling. Just like that. And then right here, now the exhausts on these planes are a little weird. They basically kind of go upwards almost. So the only way I could figure out how to do these is you're going to place two cobblestone walls in here, and then you're going to place a spruce wood slab on tops of the cobblestone walls. So kind of like that. And then you're just going to have two of the spruce wood stairs. You're going to have 1, 2, but this one is going to be turned. You're going to place two normal ones, like two ones facing this way, and then the other one will be faced. You're going to turn it. So I'll explain it better on this side. You're going to have two here, and then the third one will be turned. So you're going to have three altogether. And then, if I just glance over here, you're going to have a slab here, here, and right here. So we'll do the under part of the engine after. I just want to get the top part done on this side. So you're going to have your cobblestone walls, which we not need anymore. We don't need black wool. So you're going to put your cobblestone wall here and here. You're going to have two stone slabs here. You're going to have two stairs, and then a rotated stair. You have two stairs here, and a rotated stair there. And then you're just going to place a spruce slab here, and a slab there. So that is what it should look like in with both engines. And now we'll do the underside bit. I was going to say something, but I just kind of lost what I was going to say. But yeah, well, anyways, we'll do the underneath part of the engine, and then we'll just do the landing gear, and that will complete the engines. Okay, so if you come underneath the plane to find the placement for your tail wheel, like where to put it, you're gonna count not from this slab, but from the block here, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on your sixth one, you're gonna place a cobblestone wall in here. You're gonna come down by 1, and you're also going to and then you're gonna place some buttons on the side. So there you go. So there is your tail wheel in, and now what we'll do is we're going to put in the all the cutouts now. So we're pretty well done the structure of the plane. I know we're missing the propellers and stuff, but we will be putting those in later. So the next thing we're going to do is actually put all like the glass on the sides, the cutouts. We're going to do that, and then we're going to put in the roundels. Then we'll put in this yellow band, and then the very last thing I'm going to show you how to do is the bomb bay underneath here. So we're almost done the builds. Like, we're actually pretty close. We're about, I think, 90% complete. So this is pretty much the main plane right now. So if you got this far again, you guys are doing really well, and you're almost done. Okay, so for the cutouts, now there is 3 cutouts that we have to do on each side, so there's 6 altogether. So you're going to come right to the front. These are just going to be for some windows. You're just going to you're going to skip 1, you're going to cut out 4, and then you're just going to place some windows in here. Then you're going to come right where the wing is. You're going to leave 1, and then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. This is going to be for your gun, like where the side machine guns go. And then on the back, you are just going to go right where you got these 2 slabs, like this, and you're going to go, basically miss 1, and then you're going to go 4 like this. And actually, for that back bulkhead, you're going to actually have to move this back by 1. So you're going to move it right here instead. So same thing, even on the inside of the plane, you're going to leave 1, you're going to go 4, like that, and then you're just going to fill it up with your glass. And I'm going to put this block back. Then you're going to skip 1 here, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and that's going to be for your guns. And then you're just going to leave 1 here, and then have a 4 right there, and then you're going to have some glass in just like that. Now the real plane actually does have glass going all around the nose of the plane, but because Minecraft, it's kind of hard to do that. But what you could also do to detail it more is you could place some glass also in here as well. Now underneath you really can't. And another thing you can also do too that I actually might do is if you replace these blocks here, you can actually put black all around this section here. So if we just do that really quickly, I can show you what it looks like. So you could do something like this, which I actually think makes it look a little cooler, actually. So I'm probably going to leave it like this. But, yeah, so anyways, so then we're going to, for these little machine guns, it's basically just an L-shaped pattern. So you're going to place one here, you're going to go up by another one, and then you're going to put one. So you're going to have like a backwards L shape. This is where the machine gun will come out of. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have a backwards L, then come on the inside. And right here, you're going to have a, you just see through. Okay, so it's basically, I think we got rid of our dark fence right here. So you're going to place a dark fence here, place a block, and then you're going to have your fence gate here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. You're going to do that, and then a fence gate right here. Now, what you also could do too, if you can also move this to the inside and have it here instead. So like, if I remove this, you can also have your machine gun like right here, and then it can be coming out of here. But on mine, I put a machine gun here, like that. So then, again, it's just like the front ones, it's out by 2, so you're gonna go 1, 2, and then you're gonna place 2 machine guns here, and then you're gonna do the same thing here. 1, 2, and then there you go. So there's your machine guns in. So now the next thing we're going to do is the Roundels and this yellow band. So let's go do that and put some more detail on this thing. Okay, so now to put the Japanese Roundels, you're going to come right where you got your machine gun area here. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the 4th one, you're going to cut out a 4 here, and might as well just do the same thing on the other side too. Just basically go inside the plane, delete this part, and then you're just going to place your 4 red, just like here, just like so. So there's your side Roundels. Now these would be larger in real life, but it just doesn't look as nice in Minecraft, so I decided to just make them a little smaller. But you can do what you want. You can make them like really big if you wanted to. So now for the wing ones, you are going to come right to the tip of the wing. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your 6th one, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, and then basically just a 3 by 3, just like this. So now we'll do the other side. So you're going to come right to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th one, you're going to have 3, and then basically just do a 3 by 3. And if I don't delete these blocks, that would be pretty nice. And then you are just going to do that. So now just to make sure that they're even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should have a 5 block gap in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. So there we go. So there is the Japanese Roundels. So now the next thing is this yellow band. And that is really easy to put in. And then we can put in the propellers. Okay, so one other thing I do want to place, I checked underneath, and there's actually a hatch to get into the aircraft, and you go in through underneath the plane. So you're just going to come right to here. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th one, you're going to cut that out and place a trap door. So then you got a hatch to go into the plane. And if you really wanted to, you can always put some blocks down like this, and you can have a ladder basically going up to get into your plane. So now what you're going to do to find the actual bomb bay, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th one, you're going to cut out 3. And then counting this one, you're going to delete 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you're just going to basically cut this out. Just like that. So now this plane actually doesn't have bomb bay doors. Now I'm not sure why it doesn't have bomb bay doors, but on pictures and stuff that I've seen of it, it doesn't have it. So if you just want to place normal bombs in it, you're just going to go 2, then 2, and then 2. And then you can go 2 again, like that. So you can get in like 2, 4, 6 bombs. I'm not entirely sure how. I think the real G4M can carry more, but in its bomb bay. But in Minecraft, this is what I got. Unless you just want to place a bunch of 1s going all over, then you could just place buttons on each of the ends right here, like that. So there we go. So that's if you wanted it as a bomber, and still it looks pretty cool. Like you can have your bombs and everything. And but for those of you who want to connect your Ohka into this thing, we're going to do that now. Alright, so for the mounts for the Ohka, so if you wanted to put your little plane on underneath it, so you are going to grab your nether brick fence. You're going to leave a 1 block gap from the very beginning of the bomb bay, and you're just going to put this across with 1 going down. And then you're going to have a 1, 2, 3 block gap, and then you're going to, on the 4th one, you're just going to do the same thing with a 1 going down like this. And then you're just going to have a 2 block gap, so basically a 1 here, and then you are going to have a 1 here. Now, if you really wanted to make it look even, you know, with like, you could also move it down by 1, like this, and then delete this so that you have an 11 block bomb bay, and then you can have an extra space. But I did not build mine like that, so I'm just going to do exactly how I built it. So then what I'm going to do is, after I just do this little part, I am going to go back up here, and I'm going to show you, so when you build the Ohka, I'm going to show you exactly which block, where the blocks should connect for each of these little poles. So the plane now is basically finished. Like, this is basically the finished aircraft. So now we will go and I'll show you the Ohka, like where to place it. So let's go do that. But for those of you who don't want to build the Ohka and you just want to have the plane, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and if you have any build requests, please let me know in the comments. But for those of you who want to build the G4M with the Ohka, I'm going to show you where to put the Ohka underneath. Okay, so for the placement of the Ohka underneath your Mitsubishi G4M1, what you're going to do, so when you build this thing, make sure that when I place the cockpit in, that the block before is connecting right onto the first of the supports for it. And then right behind the cockpit, I do in the tutorial place a slab here, but what you're going to do is you're going to delete this slab, and you're going to replace it with a nether brick fence here. And then on the very back as well, I also put a slab into here. You're going to delete this slab, and you're going to replace it with a nether brick fence right there. And another little thing you're going to do as well, if we actually go inside of the plane, you're going to delete this one, no, not this one, right here. And you're going to, so this is where I said earlier how the bomb bay was modified. So yeah, you're going to cut this bomb bay, this part of the bomb bay out, and you're going to have a trap door here, so you can actually get into the plane. And this is a direct access to the pilot seat, so you can get in and out of your plane. So, gotta find my way out. There we go. So there we go. So hopefully when you build this, when you build the Ohka, just remember where the placements is. So it may be a little tricky. Maybe you might end up being off or so. I mean, you can connect it really however you want to connect it, but that's just how I did it. Like, if you wanted to, you know, move it a little bit more back, you can also do that as well. I wouldn't move it more forward because it's kind of more towards the front of the plane. But yeah, you could definitely move it back. Like if you wanted the fencing here, like right there, you know, you can have this moved back by 1. This is just where I put it. In a way, it makes sense. And obviously, you wouldn't have the landing gear if you were up in the air. Now, I would recommend, if you do want to build the Ohka inside of underneath, I'd recommend actually having the G4M1 in the air, because on the ground, I think this thing would be scraping on the ground. So, because in real life, since the plane would be slanted, the Ohka would actually be sitting on an angle. But in Minecraft, it would probably just be scratching the ground, so you don't want that. So I'd recommend if you want this if you want to build the plane underneath, just have it in the air. So, but anyways, that basically finishes the tutorial. Okay, so before we go, I just want to show you around the interior of the plane, because I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know how much room you have in here and what you can exactly do in here. Now, there's really not much to see. I really only did the cockpit of the plane, so I mean, in real life, there wouldn't really be much in here anyway, as it is a World War II bomber. So, but if we go inside, so as you can see, the fuselage is very cramped. Like if you see my character, he basically brushes his head against the ceiling. So, but who said bombers were comfortable, right? In World War II, they were not very comfortable. So, and you can place your bulkhead here. So basically, you can have room for a rear gunner. You could probably put your chair either here, or you can have it right here. You can maybe have some chests or some like for your ammunition. So right down here, you got your side guns, and again, you can probably just put like ammunition here, maybe like a place for a medical kit, maybe, you know, like a first aid kit and all that stuff. So then you go down here, and this could probably be for whatever space you want to be down here. Maybe like a little radio station, but I think the radio would be up here. So, but anyway, so here is your area for your forward gunner. So now we will go up into the cockpit. So this is the area that I actually have done. Oh, whoops! I'm actually in the I'm in the wrong one. Oops! I think I'm in the one that which one am I in? Am I in the one we just? Yeah, I'm in the one we just built. Okay, that's a perfect way to end off this tutorial. Okay, so let's go to this one. This one actually has more of an interior. So there we go. So now we're inside of this one. So as you can see, I have a door in here, and I got another bulkhead here. So this is where your chair would go. And actually probably put another door here. So this would be your ammunition room. So for your gun, you would grab your ammunition and put in there. So anyways, you've already seen this area here. So now for your cockpit, this is what the cockpit looks like right here. So as you can see, it's kind of high ceiling. And this is your controls. Now there would be like compasses. I did have them in here before, but unfortunately MC Edit does not like compasses and item frames. So on the actual plane itself, I'm not actually sure where Admiral Yamamoto actually sat when he was in the plane, but I know he did sit on the flight deck here. I'm pretty sure he sat in this seat right here, but I could be very wrong. I remember watching a little thing from a movie, like a clip from a movie of Admiral Yamamoto's kind of attack or something from the P-38s, and he was sitting, I think, in this chair here. Yeah, because this is the pilot, co-pilot, and then I think there was a few more seats in here, but I think this would have been the seat for the radio, but I didn't have enough room for it. So, but yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong if he was actually sitting here. So, but anyways, I just put an Akeda door in here for whatever reason. Yeah, it's an Akeda door, and then you just have your turret here. Now, because we've actually changed the section on the other one, like on the one I just showed you how to do. Now the other one is actually a much better, like it's a much better way of for the interior. So what it should look like in here is, yeah, you got a slab. So you got your cockpit, and then you got a slab that leads you up to here. So, but there we go. So there is the interior. Okay guys, that completes this tutorial on the Mitsubishi G4M1. So if you guys did enjoy this tutorial, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It will really help a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more of these cool, awesome builds. And if you have any build requests, please let me know down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.